Hey, this is post edit. I wanted to make sure I explain this because I don't think I even said this. I think grooming should be a crime, criminal offense, whatever. Throw the book at somebody. I wanted to get that out there because definably I don't think it is. So I want to make sure U.S. standard, it should be a crime. I want to make sure I'm not defending grooming because watching and editing it was a little vague, and I want to make sure I get my point across. I think grooming is disgusting and should be a crime. So this is kind of weird. First we had I'm Alex with his allegations, which actually had what looks like allegedly a lot of proof, a lot of videos and a lot of screenshots. As of right now has not been proven to be photoshopped or AI generated or nothing. It all seems to be real. I would also like to say this. Being that had all the evidence, now we're going on to a subject that has just one tweet. Not a lot of evidence, a lot of speculation, and definitely a lot of gray area right now that I think a lot of people are not trying to walk a good line right now, or the thin line, because a lot of them are just going ahead and diving headfirst into if he's guilty or not guilty. It doesn't seem like anybody's using a little bit of logic behind this. Now, what I'm about to say may piss off the people defending Dr. Disrespect, because I'm just going to speak on some stuff that I actually looked through while I was streaming. Now, none of this makes me a lawyer. I'm not, I don't know the criminal law that well, but I wanted to go ahead and say this tweet came out of nowhere. I'm very confused at this because I didn't see any ruffles on the internet that would lead to this guy making this tweet to be like, hey, yeah, no, he's a predator. But basically what happened is this guy sets a tweet. He got banned because got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text. Case closed, gang. Then he does another tweet. No one made the wrong decision. Fuck him and his boys. Now, this came out of nowhere. I've seen no ruffles on the internet. I've seen nothing leading up to this. In fact, as of, it's what, 4 years since he's been banned? I haven't seen anybody really, other than passing saying like, yeah, Dr. Disrespect got banned for no reason. We don't know why, blah, blah, blah. This, that, and the other bunch of, conspiracy theories, and everybody's been wondering why. Well, apparently this is why, is what he's going off of, and I'm still trying to find the connection. I don't know where, so this is where I guess my investigation goes to shit. I didn't know where he was posting this for, or what he was posting it for. I didn't see it have any relevancy towards Dr. Disrespect, except for that fact he got banned. Now we're going to use that as the bridge. We're going to bridge it together by saying he's the most obvious pick, so let's go ahead and go down that road. But clearly, he also thinks it's about him too. While everybody else is pointing fingers at him, he clearly is, accepting this and is trying to counter it. Now, his counter is very vague. Listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can say, since this is the fucking internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal, no wrongdoing was found, and I was paid Elden Ring Monday. So, that being said, he said nothing illegal was found. So, let's go ahead and look into this a little bit heavy. Basically, what I would like to, explain, the first tweet was actually saying he committed a crime. So, that in itself, sexting, is actually illegal to do to a minor. That's illegal. But this is where I might be probably making some people pissed off. The term grooming in the U.S. does not have a technical criminal status. You cannot be charged with grooming itself. Not that I know of. I went probing around the internet, a lot of Googling, that's about it. Could not get any statute, anything that would directly tie somebody to grooming. Okay? So, if he was grooming and there's no legal repercussions behind it, obviously, he wouldn't be in trouble. So, no illegal things would be found. That would be my argument of why he would say it that way, would be because it technically isn't illegal. There would be a legal loophole. So since there's no legal thing to hold him or a crime to bind him to a charge, guess what? NDA would be fully legal. An NDA, if you didn't know, you cannot have one if found that it is trying to cover up a crime, because they have been used for quite a long time to cover up crimes. When people would, SA potential clients, stuff like that, to make them get movie parts, stuff like that. There's a lot more that it was used for, but that's just the general understanding of our modern world. That's what it was used for a lot. So what would happen is they did that, NDA'd it, you can't legally talk about it, and it would scare people because they knew they couldn't afford to talk about it. But an NDA cannot cover up crimes now. So what I would assume is Dr. Disrespect, after the legal battle and everything, he got paid out and he got removed. His contract was nulled. I'm almost positive he got an NDA not to talk about it because they probably, since they didn't have any legal repercussions for this, they didn't want to have any moral repercussions. So if they had a guy, we'll say Dr. Disrespect, was allegedly talking to a minor, which would have been a form of grooming, which is not a crime, they would have no reason to not have an NDA since they squashed everything, said, hey, you almost crossed the line that you shouldn't have crossed. And then, boom, they go ahead, pay everything out. They kind of, separate themselves from them, and nothing comes of it because as long as nothing illegal happened, they can hush anything they want. Now, this is not me saying this is what happened. I want to get that out the way. This is just a small conspiracy, something that just popped in my head that could be leading up to these events. It's very vague. Everything's still vague. There's still people on both sides arguing back and forth and bickering. I'm not one of them. I don't think it's my place to argue and say he's guilty. I've always told everybody, wait till everything comes out before formulating an opinion behind whether he's guilty or not, because also at the same time, we need to start going back to our roots of innocent until proven guilty. And that's the problem we have right now is he has not been proven guilty of anything yet. And if everything was so vague, it's more of a moral issue now, which if this is true, it is still morally wrong. I'm still on the, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. I think when you do something like that, it is wrong and you should be accountable for it. But we don't have any proof because I assume there's an NDA. There's also the other side of it that maybe there's a misunderstanding in this whole situation. Now, this one's not going to be as long and drawn out as my last one because this conspiracy would be a little bit more towards his innocence. Say he was using Whisper to talk to minors. Not because they were minors, but because he was ignorant of their age. He has been known, and he has admitted he did cheat on his wife. So that being said, would he cheat again? There's a good possibility he would. So that being said, if he would do it again, maybe that's what the situation was. He wasn't so much sexting somebody. Yeah, like I said, he was probably still communicating and trying to meet up with somebody, found out it was a minor, and however it happened, higher-ups found out about it, probably told him, and whether his intention was knowing she was a minor or not, probably got a big scare out of it, and he's like, oh no, I didn't know this. And then they're like, well, this is a big mistake. We don't need this to tarnish our status. I would like to go ahead and eliminate this altogether. NDA, pay them off, legals, all that, and everything, came to a conclusion that way. That's my two versions of what could have happened. We probably won't know. If all this legal tape is wrapped around this thing tight, we're never going to find out. This is definitely something we'll have to wait and see if an NDA finally gets removed and he gets to speak about it. NDAs, I don't know how long they take. They could be 5-10 years. I know they have a expiration date at some point because most NDAs are for like gamers. That's the only NDAs I know of. Also, if you're in engineering or work for like car companies that manufacture cars and you have certain legal bodies, you have to sign NDAs for that, for not leaking anything to do with their new bodies because they hold them tight. They don't want anybody to know. I think right now this comes down to a moral standoff of who's right and who's wrong. And if he did actually have any wrongdoings, he states that there was no wrongdoing. So I would have to go off of what he's saying. Maybe it was just all ignorance. I know a lot of people are not going to like that outcome of my video being, I guess, fence sitting, but when it comes to legal stuff like this and there's not a lot to back it up, I am a fence sitter on that because I like to see who is wrong and who is right. And at this moment, there's nothing directly tying him to any illegal involvement, to enticing a minor, or anything of the sort. It's just one tweet, one guy making the accusation. And I think the only way for Dr. Disrespect to legally take this away from his name while also holding his NDA is to sue him. That's if he has any power to sue him, has anything to go off of. Because the gentleman does not state it's Dr. Disrespect. So I think that's where he doesn't have any, anything legal to pull. But yeah, that's about all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.